It's been 3 weeks since we've been all together. Do I need to cue it up after I get the other music?
That's the question this week. Yeah. Welcome to my Zoom classroom from last year, everyone. I got all sorts of accoutrement.
Oh, are you teaching class by just moving, those things like all those videos? They were kept feeding. They kept
those videos.
those placards where someone would just
John, were you the AV guy at your school that took like the film out of the canister?
Have you seen the video of the dude on his motorcycle that put a green screen behind him and then put his laptop on his motorcycle? So he could be on a Zoom call while he was driving his motorcycle.
That doesn't seem safe.
And then he went over over a jump, like he went over this little jump, and they showed his face on the jump, and it's all like, and then everything goes blurry for a second. It's fantastic. It's fantastic. All right.
How about you just because he was trying to get away with going on a motorcycle ride? How about just keep your camera off, bro?
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, Cody. Cody's here, everybody.
Hi, Cody.
When's our draft? Is it this Friday?
Yeah, this Friday.
Oh, fuck.
Mine's on Monday.
There you go.
Looking good.
I'll be drafting Tom Brady with the #1 pick like a dummy.
Go for the kickers, man. The kickers score the most points. Oh, wait,
yeah,
we don't have kickers, do we? We don't start kickers.
Dude, yeah, I think we got rid of kickers because I'm a good commissioner.
Yeah. This should
Kickers are the icing on the cake.
This should really just be
I agree.
the show.
It's a make it or break it situation with kickers.
Yeah. This really should just be the show right here. Like,
do you remember there were those two, this is like early 2000s. There were those two kickers in the league, brothers, that would have these ridiculous, you'd kick an extra point and then they just fucking jump and cheer. And then one
blew out his ACL or
kicks
something,
it, right? Yeah. Greatest thing ever. Kicks an extra point, leaps into the air, pulls his hammy, career done.
Yeah.
The only thing better was that one punter back when they had the single bar and he gets tackled and his helmet gets twisted around and then he pulls it off and he looks like, do you remember that movie One Crazy Summer where they tell the kids don't make faces like that because if someone slaps you on the back, it will stay that way. That's what that one punter looked like after he got tackled, where his face got stuck in the little piggy nose.
The piggy nose. All right. Cody's watching, so I think we're ready to go.
When your nose gets switched around and now your nostrils are pointing up, it's very difficult to swim. That's just saying.
At the sound of the tone, the official "We Like Drinking" time will be 5 o'clock. Commence consumption.
This week on episode 344 of the We Like Drinking podcast, we'll be discussing buses, brews, and 8-time Annie. So crack open that beer, uncork that wine, and let's get drinking. Oh my goodness.
I know, Eccles, you want to do your all right drinkers thing, but I have a true story. True story. Right as we started, I got an alert on my phone that We Like Drinking was going live.
Yeah,
because you know what? On YouTube, I both like and subscribe, and I mashed that motherfucking bell, y'all, because it's a party going on. Apparently, it's just a party for 5 tonight because we got some panelists and it's just Cody by himself. But hey, man, if you want to jump in and dominate the comments like I'm going to dominate my fantasy football draft, Go ahead and watch us every Tuesday night, as you ought to do, around 7:30-ish Pacific. We start a little bit early. Maybe that's why Cody's alone right now. But go ahead and do that. Like you ought to
alone.
do.
So alone,
Yeah.
Cody.
All right. Jeff Eccles, what do you want to say?
I want to say cheers, my podcast drinking friends, and welcome to Happy Hour 344 of your favorite award-winning topical wine and beer education podcast focusing on fun.
God.
We love to have it. So make sure you never miss another episode of our brand of drinking fun by visiting welikedrinking.com/subscribe.
Subscribe.
All
Don't
right.
you like the visual clues I provide for our listeners?
It's fantastic.
That's like the singularity of hashtags right there. It almost looks like you're saying we're worth a penny. That's one set right there.
We'll see an F. Fun. F.
See, if you're listening, you're missing out on all the fun. So check us out live every Tuesday night on our YouTube channel. And we're going to get into this show. We've got, there's going to be cheers tonight. There's going to be jeers. There may be some tears. We're getting the band back together in an amazing way. It's been 3 weeks since the three of us were together. Is that about right?
It's been forevs.
Yeah.
It's
It's been a long time. So let's find out who all's with us tonight and what we're drinking. We're joined by our usual panel members. We have our California Sustainable Wine Growing Ambassador and recovering wine blogger, Jeff Solomon.
Hey, shalom, everybody.
Our commercial brewer and snake wrangler, John Ruyak.
Hola.
And I am your host and certified specialist of wine. Our guest this week makes her 8th appearance on the show. It has been exactly 100 episodes since she last joined us, and there have been a lot of changes in the world since she joined us. How have those changes affected her and her business, SC Brew Cruz? Let's find out by welcoming Annie Wolf-Pautsch. Welcome to the show, Annie.
Good to be back, guys.
So good to have you back 8 times. I can't believe it. Big
Neither
cheers
could
to
my
you.
husband. He was like 8 times.
Why are you still doing the show, Annie? We
He
got
was
these
like-
kids to raise.
That's exactly why she's doing
you
the show.
sneaking off like years ago to do this, but 8 times? I was like, maybe I snuck in a couple other ones without you.
Yeah, man. At this point, you do have to dry clean that cigar jacket we got you.
Looks like Cody is slipping out to the barn to sip on some Fireball. So the comment section should light up well tonight. But let's find out what everybody's drinking tonight. I'm gonna go John Ruyak first tonight.
My brother's coming in later, and he likes the honey pale, so I brought home a couple of 4-packs of honey pale. You can see the carbonation rising out of the beer.
I don't have it queued up, Jeff.
No, I'm just wondering.
Is it
Is
hazy?
it hazy?
No, it's clear as a bell. Look at that. This baby pops out at 7.1% ABV and 33 IBUs.
Nice. Annie, what are you drinking tonight?
I'm also clear. I've been doing a ton of Pilsners, and the Slough Brewing has celebrated their 1-year anniversary down here in Santa Cruz County in Watsonville, actually. And so I'm drinking the Arpeggio, which is a crisp Italian Pilsner. And because you love trivia, anyone know what Arpeggio means?
That's like a music thing, but like it's Italian. I'm sure Marcello is watching right now going, Arpeggio, that's what I do all the time.
You either go up and then down a little bit, up a little farther, and then down a little bit, and up a little farther, and down a bit, or the other way, down, up, down, up, down.
That's exactly it. The notes of a chord playing in succession, ascending or descending.
Like it.
Nice.
Yes.
No, that's legato.
Same difference.
No,
They're
it's
like
not.
German beers. They're all the same.
Awesome, Annie. Thank you for bringing that one on the show tonight.
Mhm.
I struggled so hard with what I was going to drink tonight. I was sure I was going to go with a wine. And then I was on the gram today and I saw our good friend, T. Cole Newton, from the 12 Mile Limit Bar down in New Orleans. He had posted that his family are safe and sound in Florida and that their house and 12 Mile Limit saw very minor damage, but they seem to be all in the clear. So I decided to break out an old fashioned. I made it via his recipe in the book. So I'll be drinking that tonight. And then when that runs dry, I have got from Weldworks Brewing here in Colorado, Fit Bits. It's a low-cal session IPA with only 130 calories and 5 grams of carbs.
And not hazy.
And I don't know if it's hazy or not yet because I haven't opened
Bits
up.
of what?
It is Colorado.
I know you didn't ask, Eccles, and I'm glad T. Cole Newton is doing great. We're thinking about you.
Absolutely.
I
All
got
Solomon.
the from Trader Joe's. My wonderful wife Kara picked up some Mother Earth Brew Company Cognitive Aerobics. This is an IPA with Nelson, Maluco, Sertrano, and Armadillo hops in it. And I know what everybody is wondering. Yeah, it looks like orange juice. It's hazy and it's delicious.
There's mine, Solomon.
It's the armadillo hops that makes
it's obviously it's the armadillo. It's all the shell that's in it. That's the real travesty. Is you cut your gums.
Armadillos carry leprosy.
I didn't know that.
Thanks,
Armadillos are also one of the few mammals who face each other when they mate. So,
Oh, there you go.
That's just how they're built.
There's also a very weird story about armadillos, and I can't even say amongst the herper community. Someone was trying to catch an armadillo and actually stuck his finger in the wrong spot.
Well, that's why they call it herping, John.
And in case anybody was wondering what bourbon I'm pouring,
the Black
Button Brewing.
I've got some extra stickers right here next to my microphone.
Oh, there you go.
There you go. All right. That's what we're drinking. That's who we're drinking with. But now we get to our favorite part, what hopefully Solomon's ready for.
Wine, beer, spirit, or pop culture reference. This is where I am going to give our delightful crew and all the ones of people watching and commenting right now live on YouTube, as you ought to do every Tuesday night. I'm going to give them a term, and they have to tell me, is this a wine term, a beer term, a spirit term, or some sort of pop culture reference? The term this week is yomp. Is yomp a wine term, a beer term, a spirit term, or some sort of pop culture reference just because it pisses him off? Jeff Eccles.
I don't know if you guys are seeing it.
I saw
Methyl Ethel is up in the chat. It has been a long time, Methyl Ethel. It is good to see you. Did you say you're going with me on yomp?
Yes, yomp.
All right, yomp.
Must be all the meth. Your mind is not.
Oh my God, yomp. Let's see. Is this yomp? This has got to be a pop culture reference. I'm just going to say that right off the bat. And this is it's fuck. I have no idea. This is the newest TikTok trend, where all the kids are yomping around to jump. They're yomping around. That's what it is. They're yomping around.
Daddy Mac will make you yomp.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Annie Wolf-Pautsch, what say you for yomp?
Well, I don't know if you'd call it pop culture, but yomp is a verb, and it is when two armadillos mate. And I don't know how.
Facing away from each other.
Yeah, holes away from each other.
So confused. I can't believe that my my mind's trying to construct that puzzle. So Annie says maybe it's a pop culture reference because we all know about. Well, actually, I think we know too much about armadillos at this point in the show. For a family show about drinking, it's a little much, everybody.
Armadillos getting their yomp on.
John Ruyak.
Oh my God. I'm going to dig way back into the Looney Tunes archives. There was a Looney Tunes cartoon where the guy takes his wife to the hospital and she gives birth, and somehow this baby Martian ends up in the nursery, and they take this baby Martian home, and they called him Yob because it had a boy bracelet on, but it was backwards. They put the beads on backwards for the boy bracelet, and it read Yob. And then the parent Martians came and took it away, and the father's going, Yob, Yob, Yob. You really have to, you got to look it up. I'm not making this up. This is a pop culture reference. It has nothing to do with Looney Tunes. Or
did you see that it was spelled YOMP?
Yeah, I did see that. But it was so close. And, apart from leprosy and the Kama Sutra of armadillos, I have no idea what this is. It's a pop culture reference, and it's it's something someone spilled out of a I don't know, a cribbage or some sort of word game.
I mean, it could be.
So it's either a Warner Brothers cartoon or something that's spilled out of a cribbage game.
Or Scrabble. Yeah.
Scrabble.
I'm hearing pop culture references. Right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it was the last thing. It was the last four letters on your Scrabble tile holder the other day when you were.
It just ended up saying y'all. You're like, Scrabble. This is a fucking word. I'm stuck. So, 5 minutes before the show, when I realized I had to look this up, I said, I'm gonna throw something out there that I don't think anybody is gonna get, and yet, if one were to stumble upon it, it would have been our guest. However, when we look at how deep the lineup of beers is at Discretion Brewing in Santa Cruz, California, they make a Dolph beer, which is a German-style summer ale called Yomp. But if you look up Yomp, apparently this was a term coming out of like the British military from the 1980s that means to walk a really long distance. So it's kind of like a schlep, which, it's a yomp. So I'm going to say it's a beer reference. It's one of many, I'll venture to say are delicious beers from Discretion Brewing in Santa Cruz, California.
Yeah. Discretion released 46 different beers this is a true story, over the last year and a half, 46 different ones, just pandemic beers.
Wow.
I don't remember this Yomp beer, but some sort of like long procession walk and it being a verb, I'm going to go ahead and take the win on this one.
I can't wait to.
It's a beer term and a verb.
So
right.
next time I tell Sharon that I'm going to go looking for rattlesnakes. I said, so where are you going? Well, I'm going to go yomping in the Magdalena Mountains.
And then she's like, why are you going to go do that with an armadillo? That's disgusting, John.
Don't come up with leprosy, damn it.
Annie feels comfortable on the show when she just takes over the game show and is judge. I love it.
You're the Paul Lind of grape or wine, beer, spirit, and pop culture reference.
Jeff Solomon.
And
Jeff
I'm
Solomon.
the Paul McCartney Sorry. What's up?
Without reading it, I want you to do the ad read this week.
Oh, well, shit. You know, everybody, this is a show about friendship. And I'll just say from the get-go, you know, like I'm thinking back to the wine bloggers conference that Eccles and I ventured out to in where the fuck was I don't even know.
It was in
Sonoma-ish, some unheard of Santa Rosa. So
there you go.
We're out in Santa Rosa, and it was really interesting having conversations with, you know, both bloggers that we admire, but also like people that happen to like listen to our show too. And some feedback that we got, which, you know, I kind of feel this way too, and I feel this way about the folks that listen and definitely hang out in the chat as we record live, as y'all ought to participate in every Tuesday night-ish around 7:30. You know, there was really just kind of like this theme of like, you know, I don't know, I just kind of feel like when I'm listening to y'all, it's like I'm hanging out with my friends, right? You know, and that's definitely, you know, what I love about this show. And one of the many friends that we've met through this show, who we see sometimes in the comments section too, is our friend Lori Budd of Dracaena Wines. She makes some killer Cabernet Franc out of Paso Robles, as well as, you know, what are there's a rosé of Syrah, I believe, and
the Chenin Blanc.
And the Chenin Blanc, which is like such a workhorse of a grape. Am I right, everybody? It's a workhorse of a grape. You know, and it's just really cool that we were able to, you know, it's just like this friendship, this bro hug affiliate deal that we've got going. So if you wanted to order some of that delicious Dracaena wine, and people are raving about it in the chat, as they ought to do every Tuesday, you know, go to welikedrinking.com/wine, and that'll take you to the Dracaena Wines website. It's easier than trying to type out Dracaena. No one knows how to spell that. But then at checkout, enter the promo code WLD. You're going to end up getting 5% off your order, right? The We Like Drinking posse is going to get a couple shekels off the deal. We're going to earn 5% of that order. You are going to get some 5-star wine, right? You're going to be high-fiving your friends, and depending on how many friends, that's like 5 or 6 high fives here. What I'm saying is this is 7 wins when you enter the promo code WLD at checkout for that delicious Dracaena wine at welikedrinking.com/wine. And let us know what you think. You know, maybe do that while you're leaving us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts.
that may be 8 fives
in a row. Everybody wins all the 5s.
Be sure to check it out, folks. And thank you, Lori.
You know,
Annie. Oh yeah, go ahead.
If grapes were horses, Chenin Blanc would be Clydesdales.
Who is Chenin Blanc?
Are Clydesdales still actually working these days, or do they just now making commercials?
They make pumpkin spice seltzer is what they do.
The trouble is with global warming now, there's literally a guy now, you know, people have to change out the horseshoes all the time, but people actually have to shave down their ankle hair, which is like the really saddest part of the whole deal.
Cody brings up a great.
You haven't seen like unsustainable Clydesdale coats and shit like on the black market. You know, they're like, don't tell anyone it's Clydesdale.
Cody brings up a great point, Jeff Solomon. Dracaena Wines is a great wine to give as a gift to 5 of your best friends.
Yeah. And that's like 5 times 5.
Well, there's 3 of them. There's 3 of them here. There's 3 of them right here. So we're getting a bottle of wine, right?
Yeah. All right, Annie.
Yes.
Let's get into this. If you're not familiar with SC Brew Cruz, this is Annie, can you give us the lowdown on what SC Brew Cruz is?
Well, I mean, for the last I celebrated 7 years in July, although celebrated is a loose term at this point. But we've been cruising around having, thousands of beer drinkers and awesome people on our flagship bus, and then Slow Boy, our second bus, taking everyone around the Santa Cruz beer scene and having the best time and creating memories and serving the brewing community and learning about beer and learning about each other, and me learning about driving drunk people around, and
including one Jeff Solomon at one point.
Yeah, at one point. And, just like lessons in life. And it's been a dream and a whirlwind. And
you should really, that should be, oh my God, Annie. Jeff Solomon always tells people how to run their business better. I'm not going to tell you how to run your business better. I'm going to tell you your add-on. This is your book, and this is life lessons from behind
the wheel.
The wheel. Life lessons from behind, from driving
around
drunk
people around.
Yeah. I know. I think remember there was like that book a while ago. Some dishwasher from like a famous restaurant had written a book on like all the things that go on. And then of course Taxi Cab Confessions. Like had I like probably kept track of all the stories over the years, that would have made the book a little more alluring. But yeah, those memories are still with me. Those memories are with me when I go into my bus, which is parked in the driveway now, and
so
there's like a full spider haven.
We're gonna jump all over the place, but I've got to get to the part that made me screaming mad. So we enter this pandemic. Yeah. This bullshit pandemic. We lock down. Your business is shuttered. All the breweries are shuttered. There's light at the end of the tunnel. The tunnel's coming close. Things are starting to open up. And I don't know if it's the city of Santa Cruz or who does this, but somebody comes to you and says that your bus can't be driven anymore. Yeah, basically. So it was not the city. Anyone that has a commercial diesel vehicle out there that's listening, good on you. Let me know if you are going through any of the same shit that we are as a very small business, and talking with so many other small businesses and people in the same situation. It just sucks. It's been going on in California for many years, where they're trying to convert diesel, just basically any diesel run vehicles they're trying to make them obsolete, and have a greener state, which I'm all for. The problem is that there was no rollout plan as far as like letting any businesses necessarily know when the deadline was. So it was different for people that were in the know and maybe like preemptively started getting rid of their vehicles. At least for us, I'd heard rumors, and every year my registration was getting renewed and the CHP was doing my inspections, and I never received any warning. Like, how on
normal?
Uh-oh.
To
Are you there?
Get rid of your. Yeah. Are you back?
Okay, hold on. Yeah. Are you guys okay?
So yeah, there wasn't a heads up in any formal form. It was sort of like rumors, but I continued to operate because any of the licenses that I have with any of the like 5 entities that, run my license, the California Public Utilities Commission, the CHP, the DMV, the city of Santa Cruz, it was a green light. And then what happened was I paid for my bus registration per usual when it was due, and was waiting for my sticker, and the sticker never came. Instead, a notice from the DMV said, your registration is incomplete. Please call this number. And I called the number, and it was, California Air Resources Board, and the state of California just didn't renew my registration, and then led me down the rabbit hole of, well, how do I get my registration renewed again? And every single option that had been available for like the last X amount of years was no longer available. It didn't apply to a business like mine. There's no grants that necessarily are applicable for a one bus business. We're talking like if you want to apply for a grant, you need to have a fleet of school buses, and then there's incentive for the state to give you money. So after speaking with the Air Resources Board and, typing out a letter to our dear governor, which we'll get, we don't need to get into all that. There basically was I'm sorry, this is happening to you. You don't really have an option but to retire a bus. And so that's where I'm at. So the bus is retired in my driveway because I am like almost in, I refuse to get rid of it because most of the materials that are inside the bus are more precious right now than the bus itself. Just like all the Doug fir that, we hand sanded and all of the, seating and memories and everything else that I'm thinking I might be able to use for another bus. I see your comment, Cody. That's awesome. I mean, the thing is the converting it to electric is somewhere in the ballpark of $230,000, or an electric vehicle is around $200,000. And while I know that I would get support from the community, it's not, everyone is in a shit position right now. Everyone has been so gracious for my business. And I've also just from a personal standpoint, would feel awkward asking people for money in help in this situation. Like I'd ask people once I got a new bus, like help pitch in, like help me rebuild a bus. But as far as like people donating money, when the state of California, I do feel is largely responsible for helping a business out, small business rather. But in my situation, like that's where we're at. And it's just the fact that it came after a year off was just such a blow. But we've got Slow Boy going, our VW bus, and it's rocking it and people are loving it. And it probably makes more sense right now with just the climate in town to have our small bus going. Just because, although the breweries are open, we're back with mask mandate indoors. And so we're making do, it is what it is.
Cody is bound and determined to solve your problems, right?
I know, I'm loving it.
But is propane an option?
Propane is absolutely an option, but converting my bus as is to something like propane or natural gas or even gasoline, much less like I'm not going to even fuck around with diesel again, because in 2035 they're going to do this again. And any of the vehicles that like people like, there was this bus company that was so quick to work with me, and they were like, "Oh, we have your back," and we were looking at 2 buses of theirs, and we're really excited about it and very hopeful. And then it's just like, wait, these are diesel buses, like this is going to happen again. We're going to do a full retrofit and then have to go through it again. So propane or natural gas is what we're looking for. If anyone has any leads, send it my way. I'll trade you Betty Jane. Even though that would be really, that'd be really hard for me.
Is there any talk of like, this just blows my mind. Like
it's mind blowing.
We've done so much for people during this lockdown to help them get through between, there's been all kinds of work done to support people in need during this crisis time. And is there no discussion about delaying this a year, delaying this 18 months, anything like that that says, hey, all we have to do is sign a freaking piece of paper and we can extend people with these small businesses out for a set amount of time?
Yeah, you'd think. They let me turn on the light. I'm like sitting in the dark, like talking about my situation. It's getting really depressing in here. There's a mattress in the background. This used to be my husband's work from home teaching office last year, and then I reclaimed it around the same time that I thought I was victoriously getting back, and now there's a mattress in here. Like I haven't done anything. Sorry. Basically, your question is, could they have postponed this and
is there? Yeah. Well, one, we know they could have. I mean, that's just obvious. But is there any discussion about doing something like that for you? And I'm sure there's many other people that are impacted by this.
No, there's like an absurd amount of people on a class action lawsuit, basically like trying to sue CARB and the state of California right now, and nothing's happening with that. No, they're going forward with it, because what they're saying is that this has been in the works for many years, and basically, even though they didn't alert or inform anyone, you should have known.
Sorry.
Can we tow the bus around with a Prius?
I don't think it's physically possible, but Cody, I like your stuff. I mean
drop the motor. I mean, get rid of the motor.
Annie,
I like the thinking outside of the box. Trust me, I've been doing a lot of that. Well, Annie, a lot of beer drinking. Yeah.
I have to ask, and I don't know. I don't know if it's helpful or not. I'm just thinking. I'd imagine you find yourself in a situation with a bunch of idea people that are like, I'm sure you've never thought about this angle before. Does it get to a point when everybody's wish casting all this stuff? Do you just want to say, I'm just fucking tired of talking about it. I just want everything to be fresh and new, and this to be like, part of the backstory of the movie of my life later on.
You know what? There is definitely something to that. Like a friend of mine said recently, something similar along the lines where they're like, I get the feeling that this is one of those things that in a year, or hopefully less, but after you figure out why it was maybe meant to happen, like it ends up being a blessing. I'm not quite there yet. Just with that mindset, just because it's been very difficult to all of the reschedules from last year that I was so excited to be able to do. Now you just have to be like, I'm sorry. And that's like weddings that got rescheduled and everything. Yeah. So I'm waiting for that silver lining, but I do think, everything happens in some respect. And I have been sketching out a Pinterest board for the new bus. And we're going a dark mahogany.
Oh, that's
Can we smoke cigars?
Yeah, it feels very. I'm gonna be wearing my We Like Drinking cigar jacket every time I go to. I'll have to for the summer. I'll have to have a sleeveless version, but I feel like that's doable.
So state governments have no interest in helping out small business. They have none. Not in California, not in New Mexico, not anywhere. They're small players. They only play to the big players that can make big things. And it does take class action lawsuits, or it takes the National Restaurant Associations, things like that, to get together as groups. But any small individual business, the state has no interest in you at all. All they want to do is collect your money and tell you what to do. And that's just basically it.
I know, but that's a crazy thing is it's like I'm such like in my world, like this is my livelihood, right? But I'm such small potatoes. I'm such small potatoes to them that it wouldn't actually, I don't make an impact on the economy here in the state, right? So why would you not let me just operate? Like,
Yeah, you don't make that much of an impact on the environment either driving around your bus. So
well, it's
and diesel's basically environmentally friendly, is it not?
I mean, in the case of like how short, my tours, like I'm not doing a ton of driving. The ironic thing is that if my bus were converted to an RV, they wouldn't care at all. I could drive this diesel thing all over the state.
Seriously?
It's just commercially. So it's just the fact that I'm making money that they don't want me to be able to operate it, but I'm not making enough money for them to be able to help me out, even though they say I can't operate.
So turn it into a personal vehicle, register it as such, then become a Lyft and go with Lyft Uber, but only get people that do tours in groups of 8 or 10.
This is honest. I will say in all of these ideas that people have been spouting out. No offense to the Prius one, Cody. This one is definitely it's not a bad idea. It's not a bad idea.
So you know what makes me so angry?
Yeah.
Oh wait, Jeff's getting angry. Somebody must have delivered a Pepsi to him.
And it's interesting because I think we've all kind of found ourselves in, things that are analogous, while nearly like any that fucking sucks. Like I'm so upset about that, right? But I want to make it about myself too.
Please do.
I mean, obviously.
we find ourselves when it's like, when you're in like a particular profession, like you have no problem amongst your peers, like kind of fucking like talking shit amongst your peers, and yet if somebody else who has no idea what the fuck's going on, like if they try to chime in, you're like, fuck you don't know what you're talking about, right? And so it's like, as a teacher, I take my job really seriously, and I might, talk about, to my friends about like, did you hear that one guy did? Like, what a dick. But I also am like very defensive of my fellow teachers, and I get really pissed off when you see the teacher on the news who fucking took his shirt off during a Zoom meeting and shit like that. It's like, fuck you, because you're like painting all this in a bad picture. And it's like the thing that, again, this is about me. As a fellow Californian, Annie.
Yes.
I don't want to hear from people in other states being like, fucking California. I knew it. Fuck California and blah, 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 blah. And that's why I'm so pissed off that the greatest state in the entire world fucking did you dirty because it gives some asshole in Florida a reason to be like, see, fucking California's dumb. Fuck you, Florida. You're still the worst.
Well, not to get Jeff involved here, or Jeff Eccles involved here, but Colorado's also on the same track.
Yes, we are. Hey, you know why?
Diesel
people from California are moving here and making their laws come here.
Oh, man.
Well, my first idea was like, all right, my first idea actually with this is I was like, it's cool. I'll just franchise the bus.
There you go.
And open one up in Boulder, because my dad's friend over the pandemic sold Banjo Billy's, which was my, first taste of owning a beer business. And he sold it. And so I said, oh, well, maybe you want to just buy my bus and restart it, or have somebody else do that. And he said, okay, great. And then he said, well, actually the Colorado laws are now also not allowing it. So then I decided just to knock on our friendly neighbors in Nevada's door because my cousins all live up in Reno, and Reno's got it. Yeah, I mean,
you can shoot a fucking machine gun in Reno inside.
Yeah, well, I put some snow tires on Betty Jane, and she's ready to rock over there.
Yeah, no, run all the guys around all the, ranches.
Oh, the ranches.
Oh God,
the ranches.
Yeah.
You know, Reno's in northern Nevada. We're not talking about.
Oh no, hey, dude, hey! All the cab drivers in Reno will still offer to take you to the fucking Mustang Ranch.
Yeah,
because really, what you want to do is visit 3 or 4 on a trip.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to drive out to fucking Schurz, Nevada.
See what the armadillos are doing.
Yeah.
Just give me some B12. I'll be good.
Y'all see that armadillo show outside of Carson City?
Annie. So how are you moving forward from this?
Well, so it's just been, so I'm back in the, when I first bought my bus, like when I first had the idea to start it, and I was much younger and much more like bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, and I found mine on Craigslist and was just like, let's get it in San Francisco, and
picked it up from a rock band or something like that.
I did, yeah, in Soma.
Didn't know how to drive it and somehow made it back.
It's I wish that I were like just as like renegade now with finding a bus, but I'm being so particular about everything because right now, I mean, just like at that time in my life, like I was not married. I didn't have twins. Like I had 7 months on my hand to renovate a bus, and it was amazing. And yeah, now it's like, I need something that's like fairly turnkey. With that said, I've got some buddies that had helped me do the first bus that like one of them, the guy who helped me do the entire interior of my bus, my friend Scott, he just lost, he was doing a grow operation in Oklahoma, and a tornado came through and only hit his grow operation in July. So he lost all of that. So it turns out he's needing he has some time and work on his hands right now. So I'm like, is this what the silver lining is? That like all of a sudden, like all of us, that like the gang's back together again. Like we're back in the same place and are ready to work on another bus together. Who knows?
Look, I'm not saying the feds have a way of controlling weather systems.
But here's the thing. Back then you were too, I don't want to say ignorant, but unknowing of the challenge, right?
Yes.
So and then you just go through it and you just do it. And I was talking to the owner the other day about distributing, and he's like, "This is going to really suck." I said, "But you know what? We're stupid enough to do it." Right? I mean, it coming from the same angle, right? We're just
totally.
So we're ignorant of the challenges, so we're just going to do it and figure it out.
Totally.
But what's come up now for you is now you have this standard in your head, right? Mm-hmm. And now you want to move forward with another way, another modality, another vehicle, what have you, is you're going to have to come to terms with being comfortable with the dream that's in your head and putting it into reality and knowing that there's going to be a difference. And that's the hard part. And that's a lot of people's stumbling block in going forward in business. You have to, it's like being a composer or a writer. There's a novel in everybody's head, but they can't put it on paper. There's also a business idea there too, and not being able to put it completely into reality, but you've done it before. So you're going to get close. Yeah.
No, I know. Are you talking about like instead of putting in a captain's chair, like put in like a horse saddle this time for people?
Something like that. Yeah.
I think what he's saying.
You can drive from the back of a mechanical bull.
I think what he's saying
is what you're saying, right? Is put in a bowl this time. And it's hard. It's like you can't do the same one the first time.
But
Right.
you think about Rodney Mullen, who started his skateboarding career as a freestyle skater. Like, the wheels don't even move. He's just in there doing fucking pogos in the 1980s, right? And then freestyle skating was dead. And he said, okay, I guess I'll just skateboard down the street. And then all of a sudden, he became the pioneer, along with Mark Gonzalez, of modern street skating. This is your opportunity right now, Annie, to invent the kickflip.
Hey, I'll take it. I'll take
Or
it.
you should drive down the street with Fleetwood Mac stuff playing behind your head, and you'll just go viral.
Exactly.
And cranberry juice.
Yes,
or beer.
cranberry juice.
No beer. Cranberry
That's what
beer.
you need. A giant fist holding a vat of cranberry juice hanging from the side of the new bus.
Cranberry juice smoothie beer.
I did have a dream the other night that I'd gotten a new bus, and like my current one is Betty Jane, and that I'd like rolled it in like in the night, and I don't know if the bus was black or dark colored or whatever, but I just was like filming it rolling into the driveway while like, oh, Black Betty, oh, Black Betty, and that's all that was like in my dream. And I was like, whoa, what's coming into fruition here?
Your mind already knows it's possible. You're dreaming about it.
I'm definitely dreaming about. I will say, just so your listeners can hear about something other than myself, I will say in conclusion that I have not given up on the dream. It will be imagined in whatever format comes to me, but it's just this is the thing, is it would have been really easy to just fold and just been like, well, I guess this is sort of the crossroads and I should do something else. But it's too good of a business. I have too much fun doing it. I miss it a lot. I have, I want my kids to grow up like on the buses. And so, yeah, it'll come. It's just going to take a minute. And thank God for Slow Boy. Although I'll say the little VW that could, he's like, whoa, whoa, whoa.
What's all these people doing on me?
Can you tow like a VW Bug behind it or anything like that? Just throw some people in there. Like, that's awesome, Annie. Like, you
can't put people in a trailer. It's illegal.
I was going to say, I don't know if you know how things work on the open road.
There was a part of me that was really worried that you were going to get on here and be like, we're done. So
I just wish that I would have been like, I have all these really exciting things. And then I was just like, in other headlines.
Yeah.
It's like Debbie Downer.
That's awesome that you're moving forward. Is there anything we or our listeners can do to help support you?
Keep an eye out for an NG bus.
Exactly. Thank you, John. Keep an eye out for an propane or natural gas bus. That would be extremely helpful. Looking at, not a humongous one, but something around the like 24 passenger range would be awesome.
And if somebody listened to this happens to have one sitting in their driveway, how can they get in touch with you to let you know that they want to send you one for free?
Thank you for that last part. If you want to send me one for free and or for a trade and or for cash or money or whatever form of currency you're interested in, if you own a natural gas bus that's sitting around, please contact me at Annie.
I just envision some guy like rolls his garage door open, fucking blows a bunch of dust off. Well, I knew the time was gonna come.
I've been waiting for this moment.
Finally,
the prophecy is here. Email me Annie ANNIE at scbrewcruz.com or get in touch with all these guys. That would be amazing. That would be such a gift. But otherwise just positive thinking for the world, for small people with ideas and people making things happen.
One last question.
Yeah.
When you had your dream with the bus and the Black Betty soundtrack, did the door open and your husband came out like with a shirt, like either shirtless or like in Daisy Dukes or anything like that, with some smoke rolling out of the bus? Anything like that happen?
Wait, sorry, my internet cut out.
That's probably a good thing. You know what? We don't want to make Eccles say that again.
No, you said when you had your dream and then you cut out.
Okay. When you had your dream, the bus all black, Black Betty played in the background. Did the door open and some smoke rolled out, and out came your husband, like either shirtless or in some Daisy Dukes or something like that,
dressed like the saxophone player from Lost Boys.
Oh my God, that'd be
or in a
epic.
Hooters outfit or something like.
I mean, without you knowing my husband, you did have it right that if he opened a door, smoke would roll out of a bus.
I'm not even going to repeat what Cody typed. I'm just going to put that up for you guys to read.
Yeah. Also, Cody, it would be latex. Armadillos don't have
Right.
No, there was no people involved. It was like literally just like the rolling up of the bus and like the song. And
it's going to happen. It's going to happen. Your initial, once you get the new bus and you get it up and running, I think the first customers, they just get to listen to Black Betty the whole time.
Yeah.
Just on repeat.
Yeah. Well, that'd be like, Cocaine Train, I'd say more so.
All right.
Black Betty on repeat is like the 80s, right?
Yeah.
That's
Jeff or John, anything else?
70s.
Anything else we need to talk to Annie about that you guys are dying to ask?
Well, the first group should be us because we've actually been talking about this for a really long time. But now if it's just the four of us, we can fit on the VW. So let me know.
But your husband's got to drive.
Obviously.
Again, in the Daisy Dukes and the Hooters shirt. I mean, it's just got to happen.
Yeah.
And some cowboy boots.
Perfect. Yeah, it's easy to drive a 64 VW in cowboy boots.
Annie, is there anything else you wanted to chat about while you're here? Or?
No, I'm just so happy to be on. I'm stoked that you guys have been just cruising and making people laugh and smile and cry and, all the things. That's awesome.
We have been trying. We've cried.
Lots of crying. Crying happens a lot.
Yeah, crying happens.
Yeah. Like, not so much on the audio part, but once the audio part is, it's usually just a cry sesh for everybody.
What would be fun is sometime just like don't stop recording and then just play that. That'll be like the intro now on the YouTube.
And then on Thursday. All right. If we've reached the point of crying, making videos in our heads, and everything else that's happened in this episode, it must be
last call.
Last call. Time to clean house and lock the doors. You know what we do here, folks? We're looking for a little bit of help from you. John Ruyak.
There's these places on the interwebs.
The folks, I was waiting for you to answer me calling your name out.
Oh.
John Ruyak.
Yes.
If the folks want to follow us on the social media platforms, how can they do so?
You can follow us on Twitter.
Such a smooth moving machine.
I know. So much practice. 300 and some odd episodes. Twitter is We Like Drinking 1. That's the numeral 1. Instagram is just We Like Drinking. And everybody's favorite place to hang out is The Tavern. WeLikeDrinking.com/tavern. That's, Facebook stuff.
Annie Wolf-Pautsch.
Yes.
If the folks want to follow you, SC Brew Cruz, your husband in his Hooters outfit, on social media, where can they do so?
We are very limited on social media, but you guys, I've already been looking forward to posting about this episode because I've been excited and you know, people will be interested in hearing this situation. That is on Instagram, which is at SC Brew Cruz. Facebook, I am on, but I don't necessarily use. So Instagram would be the better situation to find us. I vowed that I was going to get better at social media this year. We still don't have a Twitter. Sorry, folks.
Don't get a Twitter.
Or a TikTok. I don't also know what that is. I'm not that old, but still.
Still. Jeff Solomon.
Yes. What's up?
If the folks have some thoughts on the show, Annie's business, or Annie's husband in a Hooters outfit, where can they go to leave a review?
Hey, so those of you watching live on YouTube, as you ought to do every Tuesday night around 7:30ish Pacific, thank you so much for commenting and liking and subscribing. And if you go back and watch the show again afterwards and leave a comment in there, that's a great place just to let us know how you're thinking, and maybe even give us the old thumbs up. But those of you listening audio only, you're not really missing any of the visuals. But those of you listening audio only, go ahead, take a look at your phones, at your favorite podcast catcher app. Leave us a big, fat 5-star review and let us know what you look like when you come out of a magical school bus billowing smoke.
What is your go-to outfit? Please. If we can get one review that's just simply how you would look walking out of a smoke-filled bus for our show, that would be fantastic.
I thought you were asking me specifically. I like to wear a toddler-size Minecraft onesie.
I can see it. I mean, it fit. So
I'm a very tiny man.
And if you've done all that and you want to do more, consider becoming a patron of the show. Oh, it bark like a dog.
Yeah, my brother must be pulling up in the driveway.
And visit WeLikeDrinking.com/pledge to find out for as little as $1 a month how you can help support the show.
Good timing, John.
There's a mute button, John.
Such a professional fucking outfit. Jesus Christ. You can also find the show notes for this episode with all the links to the stories or mentions we had at WeLikeDrinking.com/.
Windows open.
Obviously, we've reached the time of the show where I get to say, Laura says, best dollar she spends every month.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
For as much as a cup of coffee.
Not these days.
That's true. Obviously, we've reached the time of the show where I get to say, okay, panel, let's take one last trip around this table and get some final thoughts before we shut off the lights. John Ruyak.
So, I'm sorry, but I've been thinking about nothing but armadillos for the last 20 minutes.
Back to back is the way to go, armadillo.
No, I just can't. I can't figure out armadillo reverse cowgirl. I can't figure it out.
I don't think that's possible. I think one of them just falls.
Jeff Solomon.
That is so weird. When I think about animals having sex, the armadillo is the last thing that jumps into my mind.
Yeah, John, they're circumcised. Those are retractable shields.
Armadillo Hub, John. Check out some Armadillo Hub. Is that your final thought, Jeff? Are you good with the twang to be in?
Yeah, please visualize, a variety of animals when.
This has been a weird episode. Any final thoughts before? I don't even know what's going on after this show, but any final thoughts before we let you get out of here?
Ram jam.
And with that, I'll say thanks again for joining us at the We Like Drinking podcast.
Where you
The fuck just happened?
Boy.
Oh gosh.
Unfortunately, Cody says Armadillo Reverse Cowgirl is too long for my fantasy team name.
Hey man, I'm over here stating facts about how armadillos face each other when they make a love, and this guy gets into all sorts of crazy shit.
Guys, I've got my house guest arrived, so I
Later,
gotta
bro.
run. Annie, I love you. I wish you the best of luck. Keep us up to
Thank
date.
you. Love you too.
I'll talk to you soon. All right.
Good to see you.
Love
See you,
you
John.
guys. Bye.
Bye, John.
All right, viewers, we're going to let you get out of here as well. Next week, I think we'll all be here for the first time we're here this week, so whatever. But next week is just us. I don't think we have a format, so I think it's just going to be chaos.
Annie's
so-
invited too.
Yeah, we'll just have Annie
Well,
on. the rest
now,
of-
now that I'm like privy to this like 7:30 log on, I'm gonna do it from my phone. So I'm just gonna be like doing bath time. That creep. Can I come in as like? I put a fake name in every single week so you don't
Absolutely.
actually know it's
Yeah,
me?
dude.
Yeah.
Hang out. Everybody in the chat wants to hang out with you. Usually the chat devolves into like everybody talking about their own thing, but I think they were really stoked on
Oh.
Yeah.
on you, Annie, as they ought to be.
Yeah,
but
usually
yeah.
the chat is just its own monster going on, but tonight they were pretty focused on how they could help you out. So
I think I scared Cody off though, to be honest.
no, he's still talking about fantasy shows and he's still going. So
good.
tune in next week's folks. Yeah, we'll definitely have a fantasy draft. Methel, are you in the fantasy? Are you in again? You're in, right? Podcast. Oh, Cody wants to podcast the draft. We could.
We could do like a maybe we'll send out like a Zoom or something.
No, we
I
can
don't
do
know.
it.
Is there like a Facebook thing we can? I don't know.
We can do.
We could do it.
We
It's
might.
just-
We'll figure it out. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see. All right.
We have families, Cody.
Viewers, we'll see y'all next week.